My part of my head is
All right, everyone, welcome to our NCOA update. This is the first update of 2022. Hope everyone had a great holiday season and you're ringing in the new year in a healthy and goal-oriented fashion. So for NCOA, it was a great 2021. We got a lot of things done. I'll touch on a few of those. But, it was we drafted our strategic plan, not just drafted it. We drafted it, initiated it. I briefed it at our annual conference, and we've got support behind that, and we're moving on it. And we've got some people with us today. They're going to cover down on what we're doing to make progress on it, because a plan is just words on a piece of paper unless you're willing to move forward and actually put the effort behind it. We had a great annual conference in San Antonio, so it was great to see everyone. About 250 or so of our members and others showed up. So we'll talk. I think Joe Terry, our executive director, is going to cover down on some plans for what we're doing this year. We welcome close to 1,000 new members with our membership drive, so that was awesome. And we've got Tammy Sullivan with us today. She's our new membership committee chairperson, and she's going to talk a bit more about how we can even break that goal and our new goal this year. We revitalized our World War II recognition medal program and initiative. So we've got Terry Haynes, our chairman of the board. He's been doing a lot of great work. If you checked out our Facebook page, he's on fire with this program. I don't think anyone's keeping pace with him, but I wanted to bring him on so he can highlight what he's doing, what it means to him, and offer you some advice on what you can do to help us support that program. And then we also, welcome new board members. So Robert Llewellyn, he's a younger active duty Army member. So he's been joining us on the board of director meeting and lots of great stuff. So I'm excited about NCOA still and what we're doing and where we're moving. Our plan is 5 years, but we're actually moving on some great things. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Joe Terry, our executive director. Joe, how are things going and what are you working on at the headquarters?
Okay, hello everyone. Happy New Year to you. Hope you can hear me well.
Yes, we're good.
Okay, we're going to talk about a little bit about our scholarship program. It's been rolled out since the start of January. The deadline to get the applications back to the headquarters is the 31st of March. So we've awarded about $1.5 million since the time that we started the program. And the primary funding behind this program comes from our members and just a few donors. So we're always welcome to more donors so we can give out more scholarships. And we're also working on another scholarship. We're just waiting on approval from DeVry University. They want to provide a $2,500 scholarship for, and it looks like it's gonna be targeted toward our family members. For $2,500 scholarships and more to follow as soon as it gets approved, and we'll definitely get it out to you and let you know what's going on with that. The other issues we got going on are not issues, but things in the horizon is the national conference. The conference is scheduled for 19 to 22 July here in Military City, USA, San Antonio, Texas. So we actually get your cowboy boots and your hats, your spurs, and all that kind of things together. And come on down to Texas, okay? We'll welcome you with open arms. We plan to do a few different things this year. Don't hold me to this, but we're working on in lieu of just having a regular awards presentation, doing a regular meeting. We're trying to put together a luncheon, and that's when we'll do our awards for the chapters, the regional chapters of the year. We do some individual awards as well, and our parade of checks. And more to follow. We do have a few more wrinkles we're going to put into the conference, but until we, finalize them and get them approved from the board and some other members of the organization, I don't really want to put them out there. But for now, just mark your calendars. Get your suitcases ready and get prepared to come to San Antonio for the conference. We do have some opportunities for those that would like to help us support it, because this thing we can't put it together with just the funds that we get from the associations through memberships and those kinds of things. So if you got any partners out there, friends or companies with some deep pockets, send them my way. Just send them to my email address, or they can call me personally, and we'll sit down and discuss, how we can get them in play for the conference. But again, the more support we get, the more we'll be able to showcase our association. So with that, I'll put it back on to the president. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Joe. I'll take donations from shallow pockets too, by the way. They don't necessarily have to be deep. We'll take what we can get.
Exactly.
And I thought like Norfolk, Virginia was military city USA. We got everything represented here. We're not just Army focused. We got Navy, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, Air Force. We got them all here. So
Same here. We got Space Force as well.
okay, got it. So with us, you know, and like I said, for our listeners, and we've got so Mark Hurricane Halliburton said, "Hey, Team NCOA." Mark was with us at our annual conference. He was representing, and he's actually throwing us some great ideas. So, all right, next up, I wanted to take some time to introduce Tammy Sullivan. She is our newest volunteer NCOA membership committee lead, and she's a U.S. Air Force spouse. So, Tammy, welcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of what, I mean, you got a great history with NCOA. You bring great energy to it. You got us fired up. I think you're our leader in the membership recruiting category per se. So I'm interested in learning, you know, hey, let's tell people about you and kind of what you want to do with the NCOA membership committee.
Well, okay. Yes, I am very involved with NCOA, and I have been for a long time. And do you know how I got started in NCOA? Somebody asked me, and that somebody was Barbara Weatherall, one of our past presidents. And I was at convention in New Orleans, and she said, "Are you a member of NCOA?" And I said, "What's NCOA?" I was at an NCOA conference right, with my husband, but I didn't have a clue. So I said, "Okay, all right, what do I need to do?" She said, "You need to give me $20 a year and be an auxiliary member." I said, "Okay, that's lunch. I can do that." And I came back and was only excited about being part of NCOA, the Non-Commissioned Officers Association. And at the time, we had a representative out here, and his name was Zip Zapata. And Zip Zapata said, "Tammy, if you start an auxiliary chapter, I will buy you and 4 friends a steak dinner." I was like, well, okay. So I gathered up 4 friends, and we created the Spirit of Sacramento Auxiliary Chapter. It genuinely happened just like that. The key there is the ask. You know, if Barbara hadn't asked me, "Would you like to join NCOA?" If Zip Zapata hadn't said, "Would you like to start an auxiliary chapter?" none of that would have happened. And I later went on to become the International Auxiliary President, which I loved and had a wonderful time doing that. 6 years was enough. It was time for somebody else to come along and have that opportunity. But as far as membership goes, do you know, membership is the lifeblood of any organization. It doesn't matter whether it's your church, whether it's the VFW, whether it's, you know, your golf league or bowling league, whatever it is, membership is the key. And I do believe, I heard Terry a little bit earlier saying, you know, we've emailed people, we've sent them letters, you know, we've done this, we've done that. And again, I think where we're at is we need to ask. Each and every one of us for the Each One Reach One 2022 campaign needs to ask. You have to ask. There always has to be an ask, not just, you know, here's an application and it's, you know, I like it and it's about veterans and, you know, maybe consider it and, you know, get back to me. And they don't. You know, we get handed pieces of paper all the time. So you need to have that application on you and a pen and offer to fill it out for them just for neatness and nothing else. That is what works for me as far as membership goes. I always have an application, at least one, sometimes more. And all it takes is a phone call or a text to Tina, and she will get you applications like crazy. You know, but better than that, why have I stayed a member of NCOA? Because you know what? I'm a patriot through and through. I appreciate what our veterans do and have done every single day. You know, who else out there has put their lives on the line 24/7 for 20 plus years? I mean, who does that? So our veterans and their families deserve everything that we can as an organization provide them with. And that's why I stay so involved with NCOA. Sometimes I hear I'm a member of a lot of organizations. Well, so am I. I'm a member of the VFW, and I'm a member of the chief spouses, and on and on and on and on. But I've told them all I won't take on any role with them because my heart and my love is in COA, because it represents all the services and our enlisted folks. And Jim was enlisted, and there's a lot more of us than there are those officers. So that's kind of a little bit about me and why I care so much about NCOA. A couple of things that we're doing is I've challenged the board of directors and all the chapter chairmen to each one reach one this month. Tick-tock, time is a ticking. I know 2 of us have done that. 3 of us have done that. 4 of us have done that. So I'm counting down, and those that just can't do the ask, well, I would just call them and ask them, what's up? So along with that, I'm also looking at, we have 363 new members since convention last year, and that is wonderful, and it's yay. However, it's not yay enough. So each one reach one is just critical out there. Every single person watching this knows somebody. You've got an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or a neighbor or a friend or your postman or somebody. It's just an ask. So what else would you like to know?
Absolutely. No, I agree. I mean, on so many things. So get one each. So Tammy, I'm like, you can add me to the list. I got mine today. So I called in and called Tina today to sponsor my member. I don't know if it's official, right, but a gift membership. And that's how I kind of consider. I've heard it defined that other way, where there was a young petty officer. He's my co-author actually on the Petty Officer's Guide. So I was like, hey man, I'm going to sponsor you for first year membership with NCOA. So we worked it out, and I know we've talked a little bit more about making progress, hopefully, to get digital capability to sign up and get gift memberships and stuff like that. So that's exciting. So I don't know if you know or Joe know, what's our progress so far toward our 1,200 new member goal for this year?
So far, it's 363.
Okay.
But an additional 14, and I hope by the end of this month that we can reach 400.
Awesome.
So I think we can.
So we're rolling. That's good.
So
actually,
I have a question for you, Paul, and not
Yes.
put you on the spot. So you have a spouse.
Yes.
Is she a member?
Yes. I signed her up at the conference
Good.
because I had the paper application right there.
Do you have any kids over the age of 18?
I do, but none of them are members.
Really?
Yes. I guess
Why?
I should, because one is actually in college, so she can benefit, and one is teed up to go.
There you go. For my grandchildren, they turn 18, they get an application, they sign it. Here you go. If you were a member of the Sullivan household, you are part of NCOA. So that is exactly what I mean about everybody knows somebody. It is all about the numbers. People, when we go to Congress, it sounds a whole lot better if we have 100,000 than 50,000.
Absolutely.
So let's all do our part. So 2 more for you, Paul.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
I'm getting 1 a month. So I'm going to get you 12 at least.
No.
This year.
No,
So if
Paul,
100 it's not 12, just 100 of what, 50,000, 40,000 members.
You know what? How about if you get 3 this month and lead the way?
Okay.
Don't wait till next month.
So I can do that.
All right, good.
All right. And then we got a Facebook
same
unit.
with you, Terry, everybody
Yes. I got a Facebook unit that says, you tell them, Tammy. So you got us. So I look forward to seeing what you do with the membership committee. And it's not just the getting, right? It's not the retention. It's the relationship once you're a part of the team, right? So
Absolutely.
What's the value we add to you as a member, right? Because if we can't show value, you're going to bail after a year, right? If I can't continue to show that, even if I sponsor someone, if I can't demonstrate continuing value or connect with them with what we do, we're going to lose them. So that's definitely something we'll all continue to work together on.
Well, and always remember that they are joining NCOA because they want to be with you.
Yep.
They want to be your friend and do what you're doing and be in events and things with you. And how cool to say, you know, one of my BFFs is the president of the Non-Commissioned Officers Association. Yay me.
Yes.
You would think it doesn't matter to people, but it does. They want to be with you. So you're selling that relationship as being part of what you are and who you like and what's going on.
Yes. Love it. And you're absolutely, to your point, right? The membership is the lifeblood. It's the connective tissue, right? It's the people connections, right? Other than that, we're just a website and words, right? It's where the people connect that make things happen, member to member, and then member to community. So thanks, Tammy. Thanks for your work. And on that note, I'm going to segue talking about connective tissue to our community, right? Like I mentioned, our World War II Victory Medal or World War II recognition program.
Who's with his hair?
Yes. You can connect.
I don't know why it's doing this, but okay.
You can connect to community using this World War II Victory Medal program. And Terry Haynes, you've been doing great work with it. I see you posting daily, multiple times. He does, right? So I wanted to bring him on. He's our chairman of the board, so he does a lot of great work leading. He's been, he's a member of the Knights of the Square Table. He's got great history and heritage, and this guy is passionate about the organization. He keeps me fired up and devoted. So another example is where he's engaged with this program. So I want Terry to come on and talk specifically about the work he's doing with the World War II recognition medals we're doing, and then offer some insight on advice on his success. So Terry, take it away. Over to you.
Good afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world. The World War II Medallion Program, is an opportunity to do so much, not only for yourself, your chapter, if you have a chapter, and your community, but I have found that our public education system just is not sharing the history of what the word or the phrase "the greatest generation" really means. And I have found from doing this that I get excited every day that I have a scheduled appointment to go out and present one of these. And I have done it in front of individuals, households full of family and friends, retirement facilities. And I took something that we used to do in honor flight when we would take our honored vets back to Washington, D.C. And I would go in and talk about what the greatest generation means to me. And then I would present these medallions and get pictures, which you've all seen on Facebook. And then we would sing "God Bless America," which is something that Kate Smith created way back during the generation that fought that war. They really attached to that song, and it meant something to them. And I mean, I got so many hugs from some of our older citizenry for doing that. And it gives you purpose. It makes a highlight in the life of one of our senior citizens that has given so much to our country. I tell you what I have done. I mean, our chapter and I have given out probably 70 some of these medallions since I started giving them out. And I've still got 27 more of them on my table. I'm just waiting for COVID relief so that we can get into some of these retirement facilities where there are a number. But I tell you, one of the things there are several benefits to this program. Number one is I have presented these to NCOA members that parents were World War II veterans. And because of that effort, I've actually gotten commitments from some of these members who had been just a member on a piece of paper to, hey, I want to get actively involved in this organization and help, because what you're doing meant so much to me and my family that I want to help spread that joy elsewhere. So it kind of takes off on what Tammy said about people want to be part of things that make you feel good. They want to be part of a winning team. They want to do something because they either respect you or they care a lot about what you or your organization is doing. The other thing that, I mean, I've had people, when I presented this thing, and we'd sit down and we'd have a chat about what the greatest generation meant, and they reached into their pocket and pulled out $20 bills and said, you know, this means so much to me, you know, here, whatever I can do to help, you know. I did one to a member of the local Chamber of Commerce, to his grandfather, and we had 4 generations at a bowling alley one night as I presented this, and there were people standing all around clapping, and we made a big celebration out of it. And this guy's a real estate broker, and he said, hey, you know, I want to support this program and I want to support what you're doing as an organization, but my business is also going to support you in the future because what you're doing is important, and what you're doing had such an impact on me. I want to help spread that around. So, you know, I would recommend that if you're not a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and they have programs that the Chamber runs called greeters, where you can get out there and actually make a presentation to what this program is and develop relationships with businesses, find out which businesses are veteran owned, which businesses are patriotic and support patriotic projects. And then you can go to some of these businesses and individuals and ask them to sponsor a certain number of these medallions so that, you know, they can be part of this process. I've literally gotten almost $1,000 from just different businesses and individuals to help sponsor the purchase of some of these coins and medallions. And these medallions are absolutely beautiful, and they're not some cheap piece of jewelry. They're a heavy gold medallion, and it says right across the top of it, "Greatest Generation." Mm-hmm. And when you explain that the greatest generation started in the Great Depression, where this country was at one of its low economic points in history, and right after the Great Depression, we went to war, not just a war, a regional war. We went to World War on two fronts, and you know, they didn't just go on a 6-month deployment; they went for the duration. And what was left home, the families, the spouses, they sacrificed greatly. They went through rationing of just about everything from A to Z, and they didn't complain. They actually enjoyed doing something to make sure that their son, daughter, husband, uncle, or whatever had what he needed to survive in the war. That is that's part of what makes that the greatest generation. They didn't walk through life with a handout saying, what can you give to me? They walked through the life of, what can I give to you, so that we as an organization can continue to you know, be great. Then these guys and gals came home. They didn't come home to ticker tape parades, you know, nonstop. They came home, they went back home, and they went to work. They taught us through that example what it means to care about your family, to care about your community, and to care about your country. And the effort that they put in, the sacrifices that they put in, and the home folks put in, did so much to instill values in those who came after them. And it's so different than what we have today. Our public education system isn't teaching what the greatest generation means. They're not teaching a whole lot about the war and the Holocaust and the Great Depression and all the hardships of our past. Everybody's just ignoring it, and they're trying to change history. So this is an opportunity where you can present that medallion not just to a World War II veteran, but to the spouse, the widow, the children of a World War II veteran, with the caveat that this is a conversation piece that you can sit down with your kids and your grandkids and explain to them what that great phrase, the greatest generation, means. It's an educational opportunity. It's a reality check. And maybe it'll open the eyes of some of our younger people that, there is no such thing as a free lunch. That's a phrase that my economics prof in college taught to me that has stuck with me for my entire life. And, there is no thing. You can't print freedom. I mean, you can print the word, but you can't print the concept and what it feels like to be free. You can't, you can print money, but you're not really, we're living through some difficult times right now. And this program opened up a door for me personally and a lot of people that I have touched with it as to an opportunity to make a difference in our communities and make a difference for our country. And I use the phrase, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We can't change the whole world all at once, but we can start off with our kids, our grandkids, our friends, and make a difference. The alternative is to do nothing, and nothing will change. Nothing will ever get better if we do nothing.
Terry, I have a question for you. Have you presented very many of them posthumously?
When I'm presenting them to family members, they're gone. The veteran is gone. But
and what's their response to that? They appreciate that, right?
I mean, I've had people break down in tears. It meant so much to them to have their loved father or husband or brother or whatever recognized, and they cherish that medallion because it's a beautiful presentation, and it means so much to them, and they take it and want to go and tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, no,
Cool.
I think it's completely awesome. So there's a comment, Terry, you're an amazing ambassador for the World War II Medallion Program. That can't be argued. The gauntlet is thrown down for all our chapters. So this is why Road Chapter keeps coming into the annual conference and winning the chapter of the year, right?
I
Because they're
know.
leading, right? So not only do we have a membership challenge down for everyone to get members and chapters to contribute towards member growth, but this is another one. So Rogue Chapters laid it down with over 70. This program's, I'm telling you, it's unique to us. It's a great way to connect. Joe, you mentioned how many to date have we given out since we revitalized the program?
353.
Yep. And we got a whole bunch more, right? We got plenty
Yes,
of
sir.
opportunity. We've talked loosely, right? We're doing the research now. Because of this, right? We have the next generation, the Vietnam veteran era. I think this would be great to recognize them, right? And we've got a huge population living. One of the challenges of World War II is catching up and finding them. So we need help identifying where they are, helping them find them, using social media. Just reach out to us. If you know someone out there and you're not an NCOA member, number one, consider joining. But number two, contact our website. I've got that. I've been scrolling that down there, NCOAUSA.org, and let us know where someone is who could recognize it. It's only $15 to get one.
I'd like to throw one more thought in there, Paul.
Go ahead.
And that is, how I got this thing started locally was through a letter to the editor in the newspaper that came out on my birthday, and I answered the phone nonstop on my birthday with people wanting to get one of these medallions. We put a picture of the medallion along with the letter to the editor, and it has just absolutely blown up. And that's a simple way to do it.
Good idea.
and it will be a fantastic way to promote any other programs that we do. I've got an 85-year-old member of my auxiliary that is my public affairs chapter,
Yeah.
and she
Hey.
gets all these little donations. I mean, through her effort, we raised over $25,000 in over a couple of years for a program called Honor Flight, and she is just hell bent on getting the word out. So
Yeah, that's how we use. That's part of what we communicate at the annual conference, right? It's like it's not just a headquarter team making this happen. We need everyone. Everyone has knowledge, skills, abilities, and we need to leverage that. Whether it's in a local chapter or you can come help us on one of the committees. I know Tammy would love help on the membership committee. So, and then one more point, yes, and then I'm telling you, so I know sponsors will get behind a program like this. So to your point, there are people in the community that are willing, ready, able to give. So thanks again, Terry, for the work you're doing and leading in this area. And check out our website or reach out to us and get yours, and let's get them in the community. So thanks for.
And you don't have to be a member of a chapter to do this. You could be one of these members at large. If this is something that touches your heart,
yes,
do it in your community, and it might start something rolling that you can't even fathom.
Okay. And then, there's a Facebook post here. We've talked about the need to consider Korean veterans before Vietnam vets. I don't know. So we will talk about, we're getting ready to go to our board directors meeting here in about 20 minutes. So that's a good way to wrap for now. Thanks, Tammy.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Terry, for joining us. Joe, we'll see you. Thanks for the update. And thanks again to all our members who are out there doing. We have a lot of lifetime members, and I know you paid your lifetime dues, but you can still help us in several different ways. So you can continue to give back by this concept of gift membership and going and finding out and handing the torch to the next generation. If that doesn't happen, this whole show shuts down, frankly, right? So as people have heard me say, if you don't turn over, if you don't kind of pass it on to the next generation, explain the value, what NCOA means to you, why it's important, explaining all the different things we're doing. We're just not up in Congress testifying. We don't just do legislative affairs. These benevolent programs and this connection to the community with our chapters is awesome stuff. So consider doing that or supporting one of our benevolent programs. But just telling your story is huge. So check out our website for more information. And again, to new members, thank you for joining. To old members, thank you for your loyalty and continuing to support us. And until next time, we'll see you next month. But remember, there is strength in unity. So good night. Take care, everyone.
Okay.
Wow.